Okay, good morning. We're on video 2 of the RFA and COC training application. Today we're going to look at the COC. Before we get started, hopefully you watched video 1. In video 1 I mentioned very briefly in looking at the RFA when we first opened it up. I said, okay, there's a little glitch in the read-only nature of the RFA. Okay, I did test it, but if you recall from that video, when we added a new street name, we added Saddam Hussein Way, right? When we added that, there was a pause, and that street name was added to the name of streets in our applications down here in the RFA references workbook. Okay, so there's the little glitch, right? And I don't think this is going to be a big deal at all. But when you do that, remember I said that the RFA references is opened up and it's hidden, you don't see it, right? Actually, when you open it up, it is also read only, even though it's hidden. But when you enter that new street name, and that new street name um, gets added to the list of street names, and you saw that, this file turns from read only very briefly, you know, nanoseconds, right, to read write, and then it goes back to read only, right? And it does that because it takes that street value in you can't add things to a read only file, so you have to make it read write. So you do that, and then you add the street name, and then you make it read only again. That's almost instantaneous, right? I can't imagine, but if for some crazy reason things were done at almost the same time and two people were doing that, it might not work. Um, that's the little glitch. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I want to let you know that that's there. All right, let's move on. Let's open up the chain of custody file. Again, there'll be a shortcut on your desktop. You'll access this. This is also read only, okay? So let's open this guy up, or this gal, I guess it doesn't matter. And here you go. So, whoops, let me bring that back up here. There it is. Okay. So here you go. And you can see similar to the one you're used to now. There's a place up here for revisions when revisions happen. Um, you'll start with choosing your staff member here. We're gonna say I did it, right? And you notice when I do that, and you'll see it over here. But there are things. Whoops, there are things that automatically populate. Okay, and anything in gray over here automatically populates. So if it's in gray, it automatically populates. Okay, so the number of containers, you guys said you virtually never use more than one, so that automatically populated. And you'll see as we move on that other things automatically populate too to save you some effort. Okay. All right. Similarly, once I enter my date, say 3/13/2014, things will populate back in that gray section, and we'll look at that in a minute. You can choose, your water systems like you're used to, but if you want to find, Franklinville, I should probably spell it right, Franklinville Village, there it is, and it automatically goes. Oh, notice I went a little bit too far there, and you know, you would enter the sample point, test, the charge type, you know, the preferred delivery method comes up. It's U.S. Postal. I've noticed a lot of you guys haven't been selecting the emergency sample, you just leave it blank. I think what I'll end up doing here is I'm going to auto-populate this. We really should have, you should enter it. If I don't end up auto-populating it, you should pick no if it's no, which is, 99% of the time. But I think what I'll end up doing is I think I'll end up auto-populating this to no. And then you'll be forced to change it if it actually is a yes. But for now, we'll leave that as a no. Um, the ID comes up, the code comes up, the case code, whether it's preservative. The sampling reason comes up automatically as routine. That can be changed. These are now different from what they used to be. Okay, I talked to Rich about these, and this is what was decided upon. Okay, so this is what they are now. And the code is written to reflect these now. But again, it automatically comes up as routine, so you have to change it if it's not. Okay, anything else here? I think that's it. You can enter charge types. I'm only going to use, we're going to do one more here just to show you. Let's pick Yorkshire Town Water District 1. Now if you wanted Water District 2, I don't know if there's a Water District 2 actually. You know what? It automatically went back. So let's go to Yorkshire. No, it may not be perfect, guys. I'm trying. Oh, I got Yorkshire. I don't want Yorkshire Apartments. I want Yorkshire Town. Apparently, there's only one town water district. I don't know what the other one is called. This will be test. It's by email again. Make that. You know what? We're gonna make that yes. Just see what happens when we do that. Gives you the preservative there. And everything, notice the date has been auto-filled. For the most part, they're always grab samples. For the most part, they're always drinking water. Those can be changed, right? But those are the default values. Preservative added, yes, automatically. Number of containers. You'll see once we request the test, the size will auto-populate, but let's go ahead and give a sample time here. I don't know, 8:46, and I don't know, 14:22, right? Remember, these got to be military time. Now we're going to request our tests, right? So first one is going to be a nitrate. We're going to do a nitrate. And you'll see the size auto-populates there once you choose nitrate. We're going to move on here and actually, you know what? We're also going to say, we'll choose our test for the second one. We'll make it a call alert. And again, the size auto-populates. There's some logic built into it to fill that in. You put your residual in there, 0.45, 0.67, I don't know, 4.6, whatever. Okay. Very good. Now look at what happened here. It did auto-populate some stuff for the lab too, right? So it auto-populated the units for the nitrate test, which is milligrams per liter. Sanitarians, you're not going to touch this. I just want you to know it exists. It automated and put in PA, which stands for presence absence for that test. It gave the method automatically. Okay. Let's come down here for just a minute. We're going to see something here for a minute, but these also auto-populated. So these are our stock emails for these two systems. Okay, these are the stock emails for these two systems. So I talked about the COC references workbook, which just like the RFA references workbook is now open, hidden You can't see it, but it's there. And um, the application is accessing that to get information like these stock emails, right? And some of the other auto populated information like the preservative and all of that stuff. These are our stock emails. It's what we have in our inventory. Okay. These are the delivery emails, and we're going to look at that in a minute. And these are different, and there's a reason for that. Um, there may be times when you don't want to use the stock email, and you want to enter your own, and we'll see that in a second. And that's going to change. The delivery emails are the emails that are actually used. Okay. Now, a lot of times they're just going to be the stock emails. Okay. But um, sometimes they're not. Or sometimes they'll be the stock emails plus another email or two. And we'll see that in a second. Okay. All right. So we're just going to add these two for now. Um, you'll see all the gray stuff was auto-filled. You'll see this down here was, auto-filled. Okay, now, you know what I want to do? I want to put in test 1 and test 2, just to give a comment. Okay, excellent. So we're going to go ahead and submit this. Now you could, now again, this is read only. So you're not ever going to be able to change the contents of this file. Just like the RFA, what happens is new files are created using this information. Okay, just like the RFA. But this file will never change. However, you might be using it and decide, oh, I want to start over. So you would hit clear sample collection, right? You might want to print the chain of custody. By the way, the chain, you can put up to 20 samples on here now. I got the request that um, people wanted to be able to put more samples on this thing. So you can put up to 20 here now. Do not delete this row. It's highlighted in yellow. It tells you don't delete this row. You shouldn't actually ever be able to delete this row. Now, on subsequent workbooks that are created from this, they will not be read only. You could potentially delete the row. Don't do it. All right, I'm telling you that right now. Don't do it. Okay, very good. So we're going to go ahead and, we could print the chain of custody, which, prints this over here and those 20 samples. We're going to go ahead and submit this chain of custody. This should all be pretty standard for you guys. It's a little pretty or whatever, but pretty similar to what you're doing now. Okay. Oh, before I do this, remember the 218 character rule. We can't get by that. I'm sorry. I got the request. Is there something we can do to enter? Be able to enter in longer sample points and what have you. Not really. And I've tried to build things in both the COC and the RFA that let you know that the path name is going to be too long. And I've made it a little more user friendly, but you can't get by the 218 characters, and that's a real limit. I know that affects you guys, and not much I can do about it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and submit this chain of custody to lab. Aha! It says default email found for the Yorkshire Town Water District. If you would like to send result to a different email, please change this email address. Multiple emails must be separated by a semicolon. If you recall, that's the character that separates email addresses in Microsoft Outlook. Now, when I first made this, we were using Lotus Notes, and that was not a semicolon, that was a comma, but we use Outlook now, and so it's a semicolon. And so it tells you that. It gives you the emails that it found, the stock emails. They're there. You could, and we're actually going to change this because you know, I don't want people to get these emails. So we're actually going to change this here, and we'll show you that in a second. But notice that, well, why didn't it do this for Franklinville, right? I mean, we found emails for Franklinville, but Franklinville is not, their preferred delivery method is not email. Their preferred delivery method, if you recall, and I can't show it to you, but if you recall, theirs was US Postal. So you didn't get a little box that popped up because results aren't going to be delivered that way. They're going to be delivered by US Postal. But you did get one for Yorkshire. And so the box pops up. We don't want to, this is a test. We don't want to send it there. So we're going to send it to my email address. So we're going to put in CG Crawford at gecko.org. Okay. This, what I just put in here, you're going to see that populates cell, I don't know, AV or something in column AV. I showed you that earlier. That's the delivery emails. So we're going to say okay. Now it's going to create a new workbook for the nitrate samples. Okay. And it says, aha, additional information needs to be entered in cells A024 through AT24. Please enter the information before proceeding. Okay, so we're going to do that. In AO, please enter this information before proceeding. I just ran into an error. I'll need to look at this. I apologize. It's asking us to add information for all of the rows. It shouldn't be doing that. And that's something I need to fix. So I apologize for that, guys. Let me click through all of these. I know why this happened too. So I'm glad we're doing this video. This will be fixed. But now it's creating a new workbook for bacteriological samples. And it's probably going to tell me to do the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to go through and click all of these. I got to fix this, guys. I apologize. You will not get all of these. Once I'm done. That's disappointing. I was hoping I was all done. It's an easy fix, but still. All right, so both of those were submitted to the lab. Okay. So there you go. So let's see what those look like. And I'm hoping this little hiccup I had here didn't affect the results too much. I don't think it should have, but I will have to fix that. Okay. So here's our nitrate workbook. And here is our bacteriological one. Let's open the bacteriological one first. There it is. You can see the test requested. It was requested for the Yorkshire Town Water District, right? There it is. You got comments there. Okay. Now let me show you. Aha. This is the emails that results go to, right? These were the stock emails. And remember that little pop-up came up. I said, oh, we got stock emails. Is that what you want to use? And I said, no, this is a test. I just want you to send them to me. And so it puts, so these are the emails that are actually used to send things here. Okay, now a lot of times they're going to be the same as the stock emails, but they can be different. And that's why that pop-up box shows up. Okay. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and, fill out this, 4.6, chlorine check. Yes. Because this is, bacteriological, I get a certain options there. Beginning timestamp, we'll say it was analyzed, I don't know, by Candra. I think that's how you pronounce her name. We'll give it an ending timestamp, reported by Paula, verified by Kim. The method auto-populated. Give it a test. Sample reception. The time came across. These are actually the reception time. Actually, let me go through. This part is kind of for lab staff. So let me go through. I know lab staff fill in the bottom here. So you guys say received by lab staff. So, okay, it was received by Kendra. And you got the date, time. And you got to enter this in, military time, 1332, 3, 14, 2014. Okay, that's how you need to enter it. Okay, and it disappeared. Why did it disappear? It shouldn't have disappeared. It's there. Maybe that cell is the color on it. Oh, there it is. I just okay. my issue there. Okay, received intact. Yes. Excellent. You can add in the rest of this stuff if need be, but this is the final stuff that the lab utilizes. And there might have been different steps in here, and those should be recorded um, if there were. But that's, and so when you enter that if you enter that information there, you will see that on the reception information, it automatically populates. Okay, and I'm noticing something here. I don't want it to. I'll have to fix this. I don't want it to enter for all of the cells, although it's not a big deal. But I just wanted to enter for the one where we actually have a sample. But it auto populates. There it all is. Okay. All right. So I think let's see if we're all set for uh, delivering this to the client. Looks like we got all the information we need. I'm actually glad I haven't worked on the COC in a while and tested it, so I'm glad we did this. I got a couple small things to work on. Deliver results to client. There you go. All right, now it did it, and I know like oh, here it comes. Actually, now it's doing it. So it's now saving it. I imagine it's there. It goes. Tells you who it sent it to. Took a little longer than I thought. I mean, I am working remotely, so I guess it might have taken a little bit of time there. There you go. So why did I get two boxes? Well, the first box was saying it got sent to the client. Now, if you recall, I was the client. But if you also recall, I was the sanitarian. So the first box was for the client. The second box is for the sanitarian. In this particular case, um, it's one and the same because we're just doing a test. And, there's another one. Kim asked me to kind of get rid of some of these boxes, so I'll do that. All right. And we're done. So that one was done. And if we were to go and Um, I'm not going to show you the nitrate. Well, let's just open the nitrate anyway, just to make sure. I actually want to check and make sure this came through decently. Besides that, yeah, this looks okay. Yeah. So you can hear, here's the sample delivery information. This is the thing I got to work on. So you saw those boxes come up that said, enter information from A0 to AT. It should have stopped there and it should have allowed me to do that and then continued. I got to fix that. But anyway, this would be the U.S. postal, or I guess Canadian postal potentially. No, these are all regulated systems. These are the U.S. postal, um, where it would go, the delivery information. But besides that error, which actually isn't a real big one, everything here looks decent enough. So I'm just gonna close this up. We're not gonna go ahead and submit this because I want to look at where that result went. So that was Franklinville. So we're gonna go to health. We're gonna go to environmental. We're gonna go to general. I think we're gonna go to water. I think we're gonna go to public water systems. We're going to go to active public water systems. It was Franklinville Village, so they're going to be a community system. And they're going to be a federal community system. And they're going to be Franklinville Village. And they went there. And it went to CCHD results. And I'm crossing my fingers here because I haven't checked this in a while, but it should have gone right here. And let's see, when was it modified? It should have gone here. CO wiring, nitrate TV. A is 717. I am not seeing it. And I am wondering if the path thing was right. Alright, I'll need to look at that, guys. It should have gone. You can see other ones here. I'm suspicious maybe it went somewhere else. I'll have to look at that. Anyway, so that's how that works. Let's go back to here, back to the COCs. Let's reopen that guy. And we're back here at the bacteriological one. And you will note, guys, I'm sorry, I do have a little bit more to do on this. I probably shouldn't have showed you this yet. What I want to do is once that's hit, this needs to disable. I need to do that. And similar to the RFAs, you'll be able to update the result and go from there, right? So you know why it wasn't a Franklinville, it was a Yorkshire. So shame on me. That's why I didn't find it in the Franklinville folder. It should have gone into the Yorkshire folder. So actually, let's quickly look in that Yorkshire folder because I bet you it is there. So general again, water again. Public water systems, active, where were we? Community, federal. That was Yorkshire Town. There it is. Now we should be able to spot it. And now let's sort by date. There it is. Okay, you can see we created that at 10:31, and there's the result. I'm actually going to delete that because nobody needs that, so that's gone. But there it is. Okay, so that worked. All right. So, you know, nothing crazy new here. I apologize. I do need to do just a little more work on this, but once I do that work, uh, essentially this will operate very similar to the RFA. And it operates that way now. It just needs a little work. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today. And for those who are just using these two forms, the RFA and the COC, you're done. You've figured out how to use them. You've done it before, very similar to what you're currently doing. Um, for those who are going to administer, there's a couple more videos on that. But for general users, that's it. You're all set. So thank you for your time. And I'm going to finish up here. All right. Have a good afternoon. Bye.